Good morning, good afternoon, Nature Sunshine. Welcome to the webinar today. Excited to be here with all of you. This is David Villaseñor from your corporate office here in Nature Sunshine. So welcome everybody. Excited to be here today and start this series of webinars. The first one here, get started with IN.FORM. So, if you've been using the products, you're on IN.FORM and you want to kick off your business and find ways to increase your income with IN.FORM, then you are at the right place. So we're gonna be reviewing the basics of how to get your IN.FORM business started and how to really take that passion and start it into turn it into a business that will provide you and help you achieve those income goals that you might have in mind here. So we want to welcome all of you. I do want to remind everyone that if you registered for this webinar, you will be receiving a free bottle of IN.FORM probiotics. So look out for that, and thank you again for registering. You'll want to, as I get ready to introduce our speaker, I want to remind you that you'll want to take down notes, and so take out pen and paper and get some notes written down here as we go through this webinar. To make that a little bit easier, we have a handout that you can find on the control panel of your GoToWebinar screen. So on the right-hand side, if you click on handouts, you'll see that we have the slides from today's presentation alongside some space for note-taking. So really encourage you to download that and get some notes started here. So without further ado, I want to introduce our expert IN.FORMer. Please welcome Senior National Dale Scott. Dale, are you there?
I am. Thank you, David, and so happy to be here. And I just want to say welcome to everyone. Thank you. So shall we just move on, David?
Yeah, we're ready.
All righty. Okay. So let's just go to the next slide. And you'll see right here on here that's me. You've got a picture of me, Dale Scott. Let's talk about today's agenda. So you have answers yourself, but I want you to just really ponder these things. Why did you make contact this morning? Why are we here? Why would David and I be here, Nature Sunshine be here? For one thing, we want to reestablish your why. We want to help you. So I want you to think about that, because when you became a coach, there was a reason. There was an enthusiasm. There was a flicker or a fire that was burning, and we want to reignite that. Well, the other thing we want to do today is we're going to get rid of those obstacles. We all have obstacles, especially when we're stepping out in faith to do, have something new. We're going to take a step forward. Then so many times, all of a sudden, we think of all the reasons why it might not work, when most of those reasons just fall away once I just say I'm doing it. So we're going to help you get started, and we're going to talk about the IN.FORM income potential. So let's just scoot on and we'll get right into it. So one of the things is, why are we here? And so if you have questions as we go along, just go right ahead and start typing your questions and your comments, and then we will address those at the end. So number one, why are we here? Well, we're here to help you activate a successful and a fulfilling IN.FORM business. That's what we want to help you. Now, something I just wanted to interject, and I think I'll put it in here. So let's just think, what do you have invested so far to become an IN.FORM coach? What have you invested? I looked up some points here. Do you know that an appliance repair business needs $50,000 minimum to get started? Pet food business, $50,000. A Subway has to have $116,000 to $263,000, with the franchise fee being $15,000. So my question is, let's just think about, did you know that you have gold in your hands? You already are learning, getting ready to move forward when we want to overcome these obstacles. So reestablishing your why. We'll just go on. You know, you have to have an underlying passion to succeed. So we'll move to the next slide. And so my question to you, what is your passion? So what is your passion now? What was your passion when you first became a coach? And maybe some of you that are coaches, you might have just been a coach for a week or so. We want to help you to know and have a plan where you're going to go from this point. Some of you have been a coach for a while, but what was that passion? What was it about? Was your passion that you wanted to help people to achieve optimal health? Did you want to help others maintain their health? Do you want to improve your own health? And do you want to earn some extra income? What about that? So let's talk about our dreams and let's just talk about our why. So let's move on to the next slide. So I'd like to just start here and talk about what you are wanting to do. Do you want to work maybe for yourself but not by yourself? This is a wonderful tool, a wonderful way to do it. So our next slide is just going to ask you about your dreams. So really, let's just dare to dream here for a minute. What are your dreams? So my question to you, and we'll just move forward, David. My question to you is, what would you do with an extra $500 or $1,000 a month? So would you move to the next slide, David? Now, I just got you thinking about this. $500 to an extra $1,000 a month. Let's just dream for a moment. What are you going to do with your extra $500 a month? Well, maybe a new car. Maybe you want to go on a vacation. Maybe that would pay a house payment. Maybe you've got college tuition coming up. Those are some ideas is that going to help reestablish your why? We're giving you a moment to dream here. I hope you're taking notes and I hope you're writing down some of the things that you really want to see happen. So now then, if we don't put a plan to a dream, it remains a dream forever. Dreams are great, but we want to help you see these dreams come true. So what about maybe you wanted to transform the lives of people? How would that make you feel? IN.FORM gives you that. Imagine somebody coming up and thanking you for changing their health forever. Imagine someone thanking you for helping them achieve their financial goals. Well, how about the freedom to work on your schedule anytime and anywhere you wanted? You think about that. So does this have anything to do with a dream or maybe your why? So let's just move right on. So in reestablishing your why, we want to start believing. So down there at the bottom, you'll see that belief doesn't come from success. Success comes from belief. So what is it? You're writing notes right now. It is so hard for us. I know in our IN.FORM groups, if in one of the weeks, and I'll say, okay, write down 3 things that you really like about yourself. That absolutely stumps the whole team. And we're learning to take a moment and, I could say we're not going to the next slide until you write down something, that you can find, that just, post it, commit to it. Really, what was that dream? What was your why? Why did you want to start an IN.FORM business? So now then, write it down. Those little yellow sticky notes will be fine. Some people will make it really, really pretty and post it. Put it in a place where you see, review it, and commit to it every day. Then tell somebody, share it with somebody that you can trust, and ask them to hold you accountable to it. Now let's think about this. One of the things that our IN.FORM group always tells me, what they really like about our meetings or our workshops or our classes, whatever you want to call, whatever your word is, what they really like about it is it holds them accountable. They're excited about that. So find somebody that you can share with and say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So we're going to start believing, and we're going to have success. We'll just move to the next slide now. And that lets us see that when we did a survey, let's say, when Nature's Sunshine asked you and asked other informed coaches, so what are your obstacles? Some said, I don't have the time. Some said, I don't know how to approach people, and I don't know how to start. So let's just get rid of those. We're going to see one at a time. So if I think I don't have the time, let's move to the next slide. It'll give us some pointers here. If I don't have time, how much time does it take? What if I said, okay, I will commit this next 13 weeks. I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to commit 1 hour a day to contacting people, learning what the manual says, whatever it is. But a few hours a week is all it takes. It doesn't take you 7 hours to get ready to have your class that night. And I always say, duplicate yourself. Write it down once. Use your book. Use your coach's manual. Write your notes right in there. You've got them. And then the next time that you have a group, then you've got them again, and you've already done the work. But let's just say, what if I said, okay, 1 hour. Now let's go back to that thought when I mentioned, about Subway. Do you think anybody can run a Subway only 1 hour a day? I don't think so. So if you just committed, let's just say, top numbers. If you committed to 7 hours, if there's 168 hours in a week, that's less than 4% of your week. Could you do 1 hour? What if you set aside a day and you did, okay, I'm just going to do a couple of hours twice a week? You see where I'm going with this? Now, every schedule has time for the important passions. Now, I want you to think just a moment, something you really like to do and something you're going to make sure that you do this week. You're going to make sure that you're going to go and do something if it's a passion for you. Well, let's keep it simple. Remember the term KISS. We've used that for years. Keep it simple, sweetheart. You have, and Nature Sunshine is helping us to keep it simple. So we have the presentations in the coaches portal. And there's a lot of free resources there that you can get. And it's going to give you things that you can use, whether you want to use PowerPoints, you can. If you want to use just the manuals, you can do that. Everybody is unique and uniquely different. And it all works. So the reason that we have the manual and the way the classes like to do it, it fills that void and it fills the need that you have to prepare. So you also can share highlights of your module materials. So if you look in the table of contents, you don't, in an evening or in a day when you're going to do one of the modules, you do not have to do it word for word unless that's working for you and in your group. If they like to study it that way, that's fine. If you have them read the manual before they get there and you go over the highlights, or if you're going to talk to them, this is what we're going to do next week, just look at the words in the table of contents that are kind of buzzwords and talk to them about that. So one or two keywords. I'm just going to say things like, cleansing, detox, stress, thyroid. See, those are words that, and by the way, I'm just going to tell you, you don't have to start, you don't have to do all of them in order. If you share with people and say, we're going to talk about the thyroid, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do to get people's interest. Always beginning with week 1, teaching the program is very important. But if you have buzzwords throughout the other weeks, use them. Use them to perk another's interest. So the other thing that to make it simple, some of you out there are great cooks and chefs, and you love to make it special. I think that's wonderful. My hat is off to you. But what if that's not me and I still want to do it? Then all of a sudden, if that's not me and I feel like I have to capture what somebody else is doing that's a great chef, then I start feeling choked. So if that is you, then you can, every schedule has time here. So just share creative, healthy shakes, and you don't even have to cook. Then you always want to be looking to find someone in your group who can coach. So you might want to partner with someone, then you both can learn and grow together. Duplicating yourself and watching your business grow. That's really what it's about. We have people in our group. We have a brand new coach. She is a great blessing. She just takes over, and she knows if I need something done, she's going to do it. So we partner and we move together. And so, that's an obstacle that you can just grab a hold of real quickly and say, you know what, this is not a problem for me anymore. So let's move to the next one now. And let's just say, maybe you have a little bit of a problem approaching people. I like the referral idea. And what I do is, it's easier to talk to somebody about someone else than it is to talk to that person about them. So just when I bring up, a conversation, I'll just say, listen, you know what? We have our IN.FORM group every Monday night. And I bet you know some people that could really be helped, probably some people in your family. Do you know anyone with concerns about blood pressure, blood sugar, maybe their triglycerides, their HDL, LDL levels aren't in the ratio they should be? Maybe they're wanting to knock off a few pounds, and maybe their waistline is bulging. Do you know anybody that I might be able to visit with that would be interested in that? Now, every time what happens when I talk about that, they usually will give me somebody's name, but a lot of times they're going to say, well, you know what? I think maybe I could benefit by that. Ooh, that's great. Well, just come Monday night and see if it's for you. So if that happens to be an obstacle, we're just pulling that down. So let's just say, and this slide shows you, when you approach the referral, you might say, let's just say Sally mentioned that you might have a concern about, blood pressure. So let me share with you, now this is a real key. I hope you're taking notes, because this gives us clout in any arena. We can talk in any arena, whether it is medical, whether it is social. Pending program that will address this issue and along with other issues. So we have a class starting on, and you tell them the day. Is there any reason that you wouldn't want to begin taking charge of your health and starting on that day? Now, one thing that I want to say right here, so I hope you're writing down, and if you're already in a group session and you're having your meetings or whatever, I think that's awesome. If so, write down when you're going to start your next one. Remember, this is key. Every one of us has a circle of influence of at least 270 people. So if you have 3 people in your group, you have access to 3 times 270. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have that many people coming, but what if it was 10%? What if you had 10% of 270? So 27 people, is that enough for you to think this is a good way to begin my business and begin? And so I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and write down your next start date. Make a decision. Right now, this is the time that people want to go into the fall healthy. You can start promoting that. You don't want to wait. It's like, It's like planting tomatoes. Before the tomato is on the vine, you've already given it the soil that it needs, you've planted it, and you've given it the water, and you've watched it grow. So we have to let people understand, and ourselves included, if I want to be healthy in flu season in September, October, what am I going to do? Is it worth it for me to start now? So write down the date, when you're going to do it. Some is not a number, soon is not a time. So write down the date that you're going to start, and write down, I would say 5 to 7 names of people. When we get finished this week, I challenge you to make phone calls. The reason I say 5 to 7, because if half of them come, then if you invite 7, you're going to get pretty close to 5. And, always invite more people than you expect. And even people that say they will be there, you have some that really they're a little wishy-washy, or they don't understand the whole concept yet, and so they might not show up. So write down more names, make a commitment to contact them this week. So now let's just say, we'll move on to the next slide. We're still talking about approaching, but let's make it easy. If they say, well, yeah, I really do, I'm ready, I would like to do that. If they say that, just go ahead and get them started right then, right there. A group time is great. It's awesome to have. But a lot of us do one-on-ones, and you don't want to miss one waiting on 4 more. You want to reach one, and if each one of us would reach one. So if you reach one and let the person know, it's a lot more fun, and it helps for you to be accountable if you have a friend that's coming. So do you have someone that you would reach and that you'd want to bring? So this is an idea. Do it right then. Now, if they say no, well, just ask them. What makes you think you wouldn't be interested? And if they say, well, I've never heard of IN.FORM, then that gives you an open door. Clinical study is very important. The other thing is gut health. We see that everywhere now. You're turning on the news, it's in there. You turn on a TV program, it is in the commercials. Nature's Sunshine is ahead of the curve. They have given us the tools that we need. And the other thing is, and this is one that people do not understand, if they say, oh, it's too expensive. Oh, yeah? Is that right? Do you realize, and I always let people know, let's separate this out. The cost of the IN.FORM kit is 60 meals. 60 meals. So 60 meals, whatever you would spend on that should be grocery money in your thinking. So don't even think of the $240 for the kit. Don't think of it as an investment in as far as $240. Recognize, what would I normally spend on 60 meals? Those dollars, I will not be purchasing that much groceries, so I can apply that to my cost of the IN.FORM kit. Another thing, and we do this even in our group. If you have an IN.FORM, let's say a meeting for people to come and see if it's for them, bring it up. Let them realize, on the average, coffee drinkers spend about $84 a month drinking coffee. Now, I think that's if you don't go to Starbucks. Starbucks, a lot of people I know go and they spend from $6.50 to $9 a day. Okay, energy drinks, $60 a month. Alcohol, $150. Sleep medication, $100. Then our junk food is $100, and then allergy products, $50. So it's up to us to help them. You never know, because everybody's unique. We don't know which it is that's going to just be an aha moment for them. Now, for all of us coaches on here, the aha moment should have already happened. We should have an aha moment because we had the desire at some point. We had a why. We had a passion. We had that flicker. Nature's Sunshine has given us what we need to be in any arena. You can go to parent teachers. You can go to the school and teach and ask to talk to whoever they have. You can go to places and talk to the HR people. What happens if people are healthier at your workplace and they don't have to use so much insurance? So it's just striking what is going to be the aha moment. So now let's just go on, and we're going to talk about some other things that we can do. So we're still making the approaching easy and effortless. You know, the Coaches Portal has a weight loss assessment. I'm just going to ask you right now, how many of us on here have used it? How many of you have used it 7 times for yourself? When I first started using this, I would use it every week or 2. Why? Because it gives you the key that if what I'm focusing on, if it's not working for me or I'm not working for it, it gives you the answer. A lot of people carry that, you know, in their bag, and they will just pass those out, saying, hey, listen, take this, you know, join this Monday night or whatever it is. I'm getting ready to start a new class. Let's just see. Do you have any challenges? The weight loss assessment is going to let you see. And then you know that the IN.FORM is superior to most of the popular programs, and it's clinically tested. It's put out there. Another thing that a lady does that I know, what she does, she takes the page that says what the body needs, what minerals the body needs. She copies that out of the book. She carries that with us. And she says, look here, do you crave any of these things? And that gets their attention. Yeah, I crave this. I crave chocolate. I crave ice, whatever. It tells you the mineral and the foods that are needed. Say, guess what? Why don't you just bring this in to our group? We're going to have a group. We're going to go over several things, including that. I think it's going to be a help to you. See, that piques their interest. So we want to share how IN.FORM offers the solution to these. So we also want another way is, and we've done this, we've gone to health fairs, and we have set up booths, and we use the BioTracker, and we have people just to see what their metabolic age is with the BioTracker. And I don't do the other numbers. I just get labels, like mailing labels, and we run them through the computer and put a little design on them. My metabolic age is. And so now then, just tell them, you know, they might want to know the other numbers, but here at this health fair, you're there to get their interest. Just talk to them about, okay, is your body metabolizing like a 40-year-old or a 90-year-old? And be ready. We've got the little handouts that has Tammy Matthew on the front, and it has Joanne Haney in it. You know, that is, we need to be carrying those like business cards, giving them out whenever you're going to meet. So what did that didn't take very much, just to get them on the BioTracker, give them something that they can look at and know where to go next. So now we've talked about some of those obstacles. Let's move on. And how do I need, and what do I need to do to get started? So getting started. My question to you is, are you on the products? Now, what I've seen when I've worked with coaches, a lot of times the coaches will say, well, yeah, I did that. I did the whole 13 weeks. Oh, really? Okay. Are you doing them still for breakfast this morning? No, but I did that. You've got to be on the product to see what it does for you before you can ever teach others what it's going to do for them. So they want firsthand. When you're talking about it and you say, you know, wow, I'm down 22 pounds and my blood pressure is normalized, you're going to pique their interest. You become a walking testimony. And people are naturally going to ask what you're doing. So you want to get on the program, get on the products. And I'm telling you, I still do the meal replacements. I still do the program. I'm going to say since we've started it, my husband and I, that is our breakfast. that many times it is the second meal, and we are excited because of the energy, and it helps to balance those health challenges. Now, another thing I want to mention to you, number 2 here, find a location to hold your meeting. So you want to look for an inexpensive place. Maybe some of you have a place. Maybe some of you like to have people around your table. That's fine. But if you live in an area and it has a Chamber of Commerce and you're not sure where to go, you call your Chamber of Commerce and ask, where is a reasonable place to hold meetings? And financially reasonable or free. And what they did for me was they sent me an email, and it showed exactly the different places and exactly how much they cost. So then there are some restaurants that if people come, let's say if you had it set up to where you all came and you ordered salads or something, they'll let you use their meeting room. Banks will let you do that. One lady started a group in a library, keeping in mind most libraries will not let you sell product there, but you can educate, you can have your meetings, and you can give people your cards, and you can let people sign up on the program, and depending on the rules of your city or your town. So we've already said set a date, so I hope you've written that down. And the other thing I want to say is here, don't be discouraged. If this is your passion, it's going to work. It's just going to. And I've been doing this. I've been with Nature Sunshine soon to be, it is 39 years now. And 39 years, I'm going to say 36 years ago, I drove 6 hours to do an herbal hour and nobody came. If I had said, it must not be meant to be because I didn't have anybody interested, I wouldn't get to be doing this. I wouldn't get to be doing this full time. It is a ministry. It is a fun place. It is a wonderful opportunity. So set your date here for your meeting and just make a commitment. Don't be wishy-washy. Let's move to the next slide, David. So we'll just look at number 4. So set daily goals and commit to them. So we've talked about 1 hour a day, maybe 1 hour a day. Can you commit to that? So make a list of contacts each week. So try for 15 or 20. You contact a few each day and share your testimonials. You give them product information or send it to them. It can be email or it can be snail mail. It can be handouts. If you've got them with you, you're already prepared and you're already ready to hand those out. But follow up. Really, it's so important to follow up. And remember to ask for referrals. So share the shakes as an easy breakfast option. We have a storefront. So let's just say when people come in here and we start talking about it, I don't mind running in here. I've got a 12-ounce blender, and it's only cost $14.95. And I don't mind at all. If 2 or 3 people are in here, we're talking, I'll just make a shake real quickly, and I'll put them in little Dixie cups and say, now, what do you think about that? And every time, that's really not bad. Well, okay, why don't you come Monday night and see if this is something that you would like to get in on, and then you can bring your friends. So this tells us, again, to use the BioTracker to evaluate their metabolic age. And keep in mind, when they see their metabolic age, you want to be ready to share ways that they can reduce their metabolic age, right? Then let's look at number 5 here. You want to charge a reasonable fee for your program. You might want to offer a free class, and or just that will pay for the products. You could charge. I always tell people, take a look at the housing market in your area. If people are living in a $900,000 home, you're going to charge more there than you would if they were in a $70,000 home. I hope that makes sense. So do not compare yourself to somebody that is charging, $800 and think I can't do that. Or don't even try it if your housing market is in a lower income and in between. So what you're doing, you're going to help them and you're saving lives. That's the thing. People are dying to know what we know. So let's move on, David, and we're still talking here about getting started. So we've mentioned the simple meeting guidelines. First of all, are you doing it? And we just got it here on the screen, so you'll have it. And you can, it will be archived. You can go back to it. But my question is, 3 protein meals a day, 2 snacks of protein, 6 vegetables, 5 ounces of fresh greens, 1 fruit or 1 legume, 5 oils every single day. Are you doing that? You know, if you start doing that in 3 days, I will tell you, if you do it for 3 days, you're not going to forget again. You are going already within 3 days, you're going to see improvement. You're going to want what is there to be offered. So now then, let's just talk a little bit about the modules. So Module 1 discusses and it teaches that core program. It's the essential food plan on page 8, I believe it is. But it also educates people on gut health, metabolic syndrome. We got to determine what their why is. And I talk about this a lot. You know, what is your challenge? What is the challenge of the people that are in your home and maybe are not here? We'll scoot on to Module 3. Now, Module 3 is a great one as far as toxicity. Remember when I mentioned to detox, that's a buzzword? Or are you a toxic dump? You know, those are things that people listen to. And so this lets you see the value of cleansing and getting rid of the body of toxic chemicals. It gives you, and I want to mention here, you have everything you need in the manual. You do not have to go over every single word in that manual every week. It will be overwhelming to you. Highlight what you want to make sure. Sometimes I did last night. I said, okay, how many of you here read chapter 9? Did you read chapter 9? And yes, they did. If they did, I gave them a packet of Revive. And so then I said, okay, tell everybody, let's talk, what did you learn in chapter 9? Let them become a product of the product. Let them share the responsibility, because if they share with others and they're getting results, then you don't have to worry about what you're saying, because everybody wants to hear what they're saying because they're the ones that are doing it. And they're getting the results. And if you do it, you will get results. So Module 4 is letting you know about the protein, and it gives you, you know, how the body composition. The BioTracker tells you how the pounds you have are distributed. That's the composition. Module 4 explains that. Heart. How many of you know heart disease is rampant? Module 5 helps to correct that. Learn the gut-heart connection. Module 6, let's learn now, what am I going to do to start getting rid of the wrong foods, the trash. And there are only 3 categories of food. So I always come back and I remind them again, where do you want to be in 90 days? The manual gives you at the beginning what's your 90-day goal. Long about 6, I say, okay, you want to quit? Oh, no, I don't want to quit. All right, let's take a look. Where do you want to be 90 days from now? Last night I asked them, what is your goal for October 31st? Where do you want to be with your health, with your weight loss, with your health challenges? Then I said, 5 years from now, how do you see yourself? I made them write it down. And then just to let you know, this is an option too, 5Ks. You can run or you can walk. And guess what? Our group has come from maybe not wanting to or not being able to now I gave them a handout, preparing and training for a 5K for beginners. You can just get it online. And my challenge to them is, they started last night, and I gave it to them last night. They're starting training for that, and we're going to do a 5K with our group and anybody that they want to invite. So let's take a look. Let's scoot on and take a look at the next one, the dark side of sugar. So, you know, we don't want to wrap guilt around people. Do they want to know that what they can do where they do not crave anymore? So guess what? Do you know that if you give them 6 drops of cinnamon in a little tiny vial, just have them smell it 4 to 6 times a day, they'll come back next week and tell you they didn't have one craving for sugar? These are the things you learn in here. Module 8, our eating is emotional. So we learn and share what to do when we have those emotional changes instead of beating up on ourselves. Module 9, dealing with stress, that's something that you can talk about when you're talking about with people in line, at the grocery store. The mind-body connection, the cortisol. What is it? How is the gut the second brain? Module 10 lets you see that glands and plateaus come together. We're going to be talking about the thyroid. I just always say, could it be my thyroid? And we know there's other things involved, but people are on thyroid medication. You have the tools. What if people that you know could get off of thyroid medication, get away from depression, get their weight back into a balance, blood pressure balance, blood sugar normalized? We've got a lady that's off of 4 insulin shots a day and off of metformin. Is it worth it to her? You tell her that it's not worth it. Now, module 11, time to replenish. We want to start thinking about what am I going to do in the future? I've been cleansing. What am I going to do to start replenishing what I need? So let's go to the next slide. And then module 12 and 13, it's important what we do, our social networking. Learn what we can do with our social networking. How can I go through a line at a wedding and be satisfied? You learn all of this. You learn it, and it's skills. It's not just talent. It is a skill. By this time, we have learned new skills we should be able to share with other people. And module 13 is on mindful eating. And there again, okay, what are you most proud of? Where do I go from here? So many of you have heard me talk about Jeannie, and Jeannie was a transportation driver in the state of Kansas, and Kansas passed a law and said if your BMI is 35 or above, you lose your job in January. She said, I'm coming to this class because I don't want to lose my job. And suddenly, she's 57 pounds down later. I invited her to another one of our groups to share what her story is, her testimony. And when she started telling them, do you think they cared what I had studied all week? They didn't care. They were so excited for Jeannie. They just wanted to know, Jeannie, what did you do? And she said, I did what the book said. I did what she told me to do. And so we were talking about what is it about? Am I worth it? And Jeannie says, and she started to cry. And she said, when I began this, it was about my job, but not now. She said, it's about me. I am so thankful that I feel good. I've got this weight off. It's not going to return. I am excited. So we want to make sure that we'll just scoot on and talk a little bit now about any amount is a success. If you're helping change the lives of 2 people, 1 person at a time, that's success. But the IN.FORM now, let's say, what if you have 5 people a month that stay on the kit? That is 1,000 QV per month, plus your personal QV, because remember, you're going to be on the program yourself. I challenge you, get on the program for 90 days and then tell me it doesn't work. I'll be at Leaders Conference. You can look for me. You can find me. I want to hear. I want you to tell me when you come that, on July the 25th, I listened to that. I committed to get on the program myself to change my health so that I would be a walking testimony and I could share with others. And then I want you to tell me what happened. Where did you go from that point? But if you have 5 people, that keeps you at a manager level. And then you can start nurturing other managers. Your Nature Sunshine business is going to grow. It's going to blossom. You're going to see that it will. And I'm going to tell you, some of the people on this line have become my best friends that I didn't even know. So the people that you are going to carry the message to will become your best friends that you ever had. And, you know, I will, that's not really a challenge, that's a promise if you do it. So if you have customers for life, if you have friends for life, is it worth it? Let's move to the next slide here. So we know that IN.FORM provides opportunities to change lives, to transform lives. Right there ought to be worth $1 million. But we're going to change the world one life at a time. People that have these challenges do not have high self-esteem. Most of America does not have high self-esteem. This is a program that helps us to help others regain their self-esteem, get it back. Let them have happiness. Let them feel good about themselves. And so as I close, we'll go to the next slide. I want to remind you again, a fire starts by a flicker. So you're on here. So I'm hoping that you have a flicker. You did at one time when you said yes to becoming a coach. Maybe it was last week. So maybe you don't have just a flicker. Maybe your flame is going strong. But let's just say, let's get that flicker burning. Let's get our flame strong. And now then, let's see the fire and ignite other lifetime of health. If you happen to be a practitioner, this is a perfect opportunity because people that come in and you might have tools that you use anyway, but people that come in that have their, you know, if they have high blood sugar or high blood pressure or something, this gives you a tool that you can get them started on. If you happen to be a store owner, this is a great opportunity because they have already instilled and felt their trust and loyalty to you. So you don't want to sell them something that is down the wrong path. You have clinical study here. You have scientific, it's being patent pending, you know. And then if you are a coach just thinking, you know what, I think I would like to make some extra money. Yeah, I think I want to buy a new car. Go ahead, write down what it is that would be as important. What is it going to take? Something that's important to you that you're going to see happen. I want you to write it down. And as I close here, I want to say I learned from Ray Lambert years ago, and I teach it a lot. Get a paper, draw a line down the center. On the right of your center, on the right of your line on that paper, write down all the things that you need to do, you want to see happen. Just write them down, you know, and if something comes to you and you're thinking about it, just open that book up and write another one down. But bring only 3 of those from the right side over to the left. Don't look at the right side anymore. You've already given your brain something to know that it's taken care of because you've got it on your paper. Don't look at that anymore. Look at those 3. Do not allow yourself to bring another one from the right to the left until you complete one on the left. When you do, look at your list again, bring another one. So now my challenge to you as your flicker and your flame, and now we got a fire going, dream big. What is it you would like to see? So you really, if you got started now, by the time we go to Leaders Conference, guess what? You're already going to be fair on your way. You're going to be seeing some of these things that we've already talked to you about. You're going to be seeing them happen. I want to know. I want to celebrate with you. I want you to step outside your comfort zone. That's where success is, right outside our comfort zone. Write down what you want, and let's just go get it. Okay, David, I'm going to give it back to you now.
All right. Thank you so much, Dale. That was a lot of great information. Just absolutely. I was writing some notes. I'm especially going to take the analogy about the tomato on the vine. I love that. So great analogy. Thank you for sharing so much, especially on how to smash those obstacles. I know that really is something that, a lot of people will find useful and will take away and start building a successful business just as you have. So thanks again, Dale Scott. You're amazing.
My
All
pleasure.
right.
Thank you.
Let's see here. I think we may have a couple of questions. So let's take a look what we've got. You can type in your questions on the right-hand side using the control panel there from your GoToWebinar. Let's see. Someone's asking here, where do I find the weight loss assessment talked about?
Okay, you just go to the coaches portal, and then it would be under resources, and there are several choices, but it's called, and David, you may know better than me, the weight management assessment, I think is what it's called. It's a great tool. Oh my gosh, it's a great tool.
Yeah, that's right. And I believe you can find it in the coaches portal, and then also through the naturesunshine.com page, going through members and then resources, and you'll find all the handouts. And someone else here wants to know, you mentioned making a list, or where can we find people? Something about making a list. Paula wants to know a little bit more info on that.
Oh, okay. So I'm assuming that is to contact, to make contacts with. So
yes.
First of all, if you have one contact, if you have any one person, then you want to use them and ask them, just let them know, do they have friends that you could contact? Would it be all right? Now, the other thing, it doesn't hurt you at all to make it worth their while, So if they're going to bring people to you, and you might even, let's just say, what I've done is I've offered, if you bring someone to me, I'm going to give you a, whatever it is. I fix the revives, the fixated. I put those in groups of 5 and put little bows around them. And so when they, refer somebody, then I'll give them that, depending on, they love those things, but you got to, if you don't have anybody, I want you to write down, remember, 5 names, 7 or more, and you just start with 1. Now, churches also, church groups, women's clubs, those, and the other thing is you have the material, you're a coach, you are a health coach. That's a legal word, you're an IN.FORM coach. But there are places like women's clubs that are looking for speakers. And I know it's stepping out of your comfort zone, but what if you took that weight loss assessment and said, yeah, I'd like about 5 minutes to share this with you. Right there, have your business card ready. And if you don't have a business card, you can get them, or have that the card that can be used as a business card that has Tammy Matthews. It's a triplicate. And so then you just hand that to them, and I'm just grabbing one right now. So empowered to transform is what it says. And on the back, you can say, it says contact information, say, Tuesday at 4, be at this address, and put your name on it.
Excellent. And just to piggyback on that response as well, Dale, someone was asking here, would you sign up health practitioners or chiropractors as members?
Most definitely. Most definitely, because they're going to be referring people to you. And some, I know some that are having coaches come to their place of business and set up some time for some of their patients. That'd be wonderful. And you have, see, the clinical study, the scientific study that we have, the patent pending, that speaks mountains to professional people.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely agree. Thank you so much, Dale. Again, your experience and your wisdom. Thank you for taking the time to share with us today. And again, I know I see a couple more questions coming into the queue here, but we're going to close the webinar. We're going to move on here, but I do want to let you know, since there are more questions and there are we've covered a lot of great material here, and hopefully you've been able to take some really good notes. But we want to remind you, we have a whole sales team here that you can reach out to. Every region has a sales and development manager that can assist you. So I want to put up that information here that so you can have it as a reference. So you can, if you're in the West Coast, in the Western states, you'll see on the map there the green states. Your guy is Vic Pinero. So we've got his email address information there. We've got his cell phone and office numbers there. Feel free to give him a call with any questions you might have. In the mountain and eastern regions, we've got Mr. Brian Wall. Definitely contact him with any of your comments or questions. In the south, we've got Terry Gibson. And then in the Midwest, we've got Scott Terry. So this is your team to contact for any questions, any additional support that you might need, in addition to myself as well here at the office, and anybody else from the Nature Sunshine team. We're here to support you. We're here to help you, and feel free to contact us. Okay, so let's see here. We want to remind you, so if, and I think based on the information we heard today, definitely get inspired to start your July IN.FORM group kickoff, July strong with a group, and we've got a special incentive for those of you that do that. So if you start a group with 5 or more people this month, you'll get a $50 product credit plus a box of the new IN.FORM Whey chocolate samples. So that's a great promotion there, but it doesn't stop there necessarily. So as Dale mentioned, you want to take advantage of some of our income incentives and start retailing within or selling to your members. Anytime you reach 500 QV and weight management product sales within your group, you're going to get an additional 100 product credit, bringing you to a total of $150 for that month. Now, if you go the extra mile and hit that 1,000 QV and weight management products, you're going to get another $100 in product credit, making it a $250 incentive. So that's a fantastic opportunity to build up some product credit. You can then use it however you choose, whether it's for your personal consumption or if you want to use it to, I think that was one of the tips that Dale gave us today as well. You want to maybe incentivize or reward some of your group members for or sampling, whatever it might be. You can use that product towards that to help you continue to build your business. So taking that free product credit. Okay, now this is a very special incentive that we have in store for those of you who have joined us on the webinar today. So if you have absolutely been moved and ready to get started with your IN.FORM group this month, if you are one of the first 10 people on this webinar to start a group by the end of this month, you're going to get a $250 product credit. That's pretty amazing there. You've got a huge incentive to kick off or get your business going and get an additional $250 product credit. So we're here for you and here to help support you, but we really want to encourage you to get started this month. We want to remind you of our #ResetBreakfast campaign that we have going this summer. So, it's time to take back breakfast and rebalance your microbiome. So, we want to encourage everyone, start your day with a quality protein, add a probiotic, and accelerate with detoxification with Purify. Remember, Dale mentioned those are key words out there that we can continue to use. And if we use that #ResetBreakfast, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, we're getting the word out there about the importance of having starting the day off with a healthy breakfast and getting on track to rebalancing the microbiome. Those are key words that are buzzing out there right now. Great opportunity to get the message out, to get your name out, and to get started with building a sustainable and solid business out there. So use that hashtag reset breakfast, and once you do that, you're going to get a free Purify with any reset breakfast pack. So if you purchase any of the 3 proteins probiotic, you're going to get a free Purify with any reset breakfast pack. So we have that information up here on the screen for you. And there's our team, our home office team. We've got the sales team there, and they're kicking off the Reset Breakfast campaign as well. So we want to get you on track for that. So share on social media, as I mentioned before. You want to use that hashtag, and you'll have an opportunity to win some prizes at random as we go through those hashtags, and we want to reward those of you that are using it. Again, my name is David Villaseñor here from Nature Sunshine's home office, and it was a pleasure having our national manager, Dale Scott, on the line, just really sharing some inspiring information. Stay tuned if you know someone or if you want to listen to this webinar again. We will have this webinar again this evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Mountain time. So wherever you might be in the country, please join us tonight. Get someone on here who you believe will take this information and will be useful to them. So again, thank you, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.